again, Jools. Why?
Well, we'd split up for about 2 years, I suppose, and we'd each done different things. I'd done the Tube and had a group of mine, and Chris and Glenn, the two songwriters, had been to America and toured and had a record out on their own. And we did a very quiet, low-key charity event together, a small gig, and we found that there is a certain spontaneity in the thing that happens when we're all together on stage, known as entertainment, that worked particularly well. And we thought, well, let's try a bit more. And Chris and Glenn had some particularly good new songs, and so we started to record them. It just all seemed to fall together and seemed the right thing to do, which led us up to this album that which we have finished, which is almost out now.
Good. Chris, how much of a struggle has it been to re-establish yourselves? Because obviously the early formation of Squeeze had a lot of success. Have you found it a pressure?
Well, the pressure's just starting to begin, really, because we've got the new single Hourglass is sort of creeping up the charts now, and the album will be out soon, and we'll be off on tour very, very soon. So we're going to spend the next, 6 months working on re-establishing ourselves firmly in the general public's eye.
Although, I mean, the other thing is that, of course, in Britain, Squeeze sort of did okay, whereas in America, Squeeze became very popular, and it's quite odd to go there, where people sort of, in one state where you might be very famous and people will scream at you and their little faces pressed against the barbed wire mesh fence there waving at you, and you go somewhere else, walk down the street stark naked and nobody will pay a blind bit of notice to you, as Chris has often done.
Yes, absolutely.
That doesn't sound very impressive, Chris, but we won't pursue that right now. Chris, you of course write songs about life around you in South London and so on. I was wondering just how important your childhood years were to you in actually sort of getting songs together and
well,
so on.
I had two imaginary friends because I didn't have any real ones, and I think that sort of helped. That helped sort of stretch my imagination, and also I had a very good English teacher who was very, very keen on things that I would write, and he would spur me on to write other things. Then I met Jools and Glenn, and they spurred me on.
Yeah, and he imagined that we were his friends. In fact, your imaginary friend is with us now. I'll move up. You can see him now.
Yes, could I just say it's nice to welcome the three of them into the studio. It's
the Avalon, our bagpipe player. Great guy.
Jools, besides your imaginary friendship, tell me a little bit about your childhood years too. Were they very happy ones?
I had a very happy childhood. I must say, I mean, there'll be a lot of children watching now. I find, and I don't know about yourselves, I collected toys for a long time, as I still do to this day. And I reckon it's not perhaps a popular viewpoint, but they don't make them like they used to. And I've got lots of dinky toys, spot-on toys, Hornby 00 trains. And they're really good, proper little scale models. But these days, if you want to buy a model car, you can't go out and buy, oh, hello, I'll have a model Ford Sierra or whatever you want to have a model of. You've got to have one with big wide wheels with a stupid hulky bloke and Mr. A sticking his head out the window. You can't just buy an ordinary model of... The idea of just something being scaled down and smaller isn't enough. It's got to have sort of a snazzy bit of jazzy, lightning across it or something like that. And I don't see that myself,
Okay.
What do you think, children? Right in. I think it's an outrage. I think you just want scaled down stuff.
I think kids have changed, and perhaps you haven't, Jools. But anyway, let's move on to the new single called Hourglass.
Thank you.
Called Hourglass. Now, Ade Edmondson from the Young Ones worked with you on this. Was that quite a good experience for you?
Yes, it was very interesting. Kids have changed, but we haven't. Ade Edmondson's. My children, for instance, I've got two small children, and I'm a modern progressive parent. For instance, last Christmas I gave them a stick and a hoop each and a piece of coal, and they wear sailor suits. I'm perfectly in touch with the modern child, thank you very much.
Of course you are.
Yes, Ade Edmondson directed, he was very good, wasn't he?
He was.
Have we seen it yet? No,
we're going to see it right now.
Yes, jolly good. I like it.
Okay, we'll get our act together and do that right now. Thanks very much. We'll leave you with your skipping ropes and your hoops and all that sort of thing. And we'll take a look at Hourglass, the new one then, from Squeeze. And thanks for popping in.
Very much so.